Here we go. So obviously a few people will be jumping in here in just a little bit. It's just starting. This is more for the replay, this intro, for those of you that choose to watch this after it's no longer live. I have two new fragrances that I got from Roja Parfums Harrods Parfum pour Homme and Diaghilev. I have not busted them open and smelled them. I have not peeled the plastic off the labels. I was just holding off till I had an opportunity to do this with you guys, and here we are. So got a few people jumping in. So this is going to be an interesting one. I believe I've smelled Harrods with Justin before, but Diaghilev I have never smelled. What's going on, everybody that's jumping in? I see we're jumping up quick. Got 19 people. I appreciate everybody jumping in on a Saturday. I had a little spare time, and these came in about 2 days ago, and I have not done anything with them yet. I wanted to wait till I had an opportunity to share this with you guys. I got two more fragrances in from Roja Parfums Harrods Parfum pour Homme and Diaghilev. I have not tried these. Well, I've tried Harrods before, I believe, with Justin. I don't remember it distinctively, but Diaghilev, Justin told me, because I told him I got this package, and he said, with Diaghilev, brace yourself. You're going to love it. So high expectations. Catalina, how are you? Good morning from Saudi. Appreciate you for hopping in. Beard looking on point. Well, I wouldn't call it on point. I've been blending it and trimming. I trimmed the mustache today down a little bit. So I'm trying to keep it blended because I want to let it keep going. Yeah, that's a P312 right there, and right below it is an L7 Solar Barrett 12. That is my last two subs I had in my car. Every 2 years or so I switch it up with my car stereo stuff. So we'll let a few more people jump in. We're at 25. I guess once we get to about 30 or so, we'll start smelling some fragrances. Alex, how are you, my friend from the great state of Texas? I was just in Texas over the weekend. We had to evacuate to my uncle's house. As a lot of you know, I flew down to Louisiana for my annual trip, draft my fantasy team, visit family and friends, and Hurricane Ida decided to come through. So I jumped in the car with my family and we took off to my uncle's and around the Beaumont area. I hung out there for a few days and changed my flight and flew out of Houston. No cap today. No, I'm actually not wearing one at the moment. Michael, how are you? David, what's going on? Been going top shelf lately. Yeah, well, I mean, I've been trying to mix it up a little bit more. You know, I have a habit of just wearing cheapies all the time in regular designers. So I've been trying to reach for my niche fragrances a lot more lately. Keep cons on. What's your opinion on black tie? Is it worth buying? If I ever try it, I'll let you know. I've never tried it. So we've got enough. Well, 26. We'll let a few more jump in here before we jump into the meat and potatoes, and then we'll go back to just chatting afterwards. Like I said, I recall smelling Harrods with Justin. I believe I did. He said I did. I don't remember it specifically. I'd have to go back and watch the video. But Diaghilev, I've never smelled. Do you own any goldfish? I do not. I have not had a fish tank in many years. Fly out a hobby? No, I flew out of Bush. Had to fly out of Bush International. Greetings from San Diego. Greetings from Colorado Springs. Let's see, I'm here. What's good? Hope they're doing well. Yeah, everybody's good. Most of my family's still at my uncle's. We finally started our fantasy draft. We're doing it online now, obviously. Not doing it live. Our Dynasty League, we always do online. We do that right after the real draft happens. We did that in May. So my Dynasty League, that's been done for months. This is the redraft league where you draft a new team every year. Bought Sauvage Elixir this morning. I hope you like it. That stuff's awesome. It's very high priced. I really hope you like it. Patrick, what's going on? So I guess we're not looking to jump to 30 too easily. It keeps fluctuating somewhere between 24 and 27. So I guess we'll just go ahead and roll with it. Mont Blanc Legend is a replacement for Fierce. Yes. Don't even bother with Fierce. Just get Legend. You save money. It actually performs a little bit better than Fierce, and it smells almost the same. To be honest with you, it's the new generation version of Fierce, basically. Was your review of Issy's Mesure? No, I've never tried any of the Mesure or Super Mesure or any of that. It's pretty rough here in Louisiana. Yeah. My stepdad stayed behind. Some of my friends stayed behind. Titan Fragrances, for those of you that know who NOIR is, he works in power lines. He's in the Houston area, and his whole squad took off to Louisiana to go take care of that, to help, you know. If you could buy one duo fragrance, I don't know. I don't have that many. I don't mess with Dua that much. I've gotten to the point where I don't really wear a whole lot of clones. It's got to be really special for me to wear a clone at this point. Just a straight up small clone house clone. I mean, designers, they clone stuff all the, even niche fragrances are clones sometimes. But I've gotten to where I'm really enjoying the quality more. Hence the reason I'm talking about this type of stuff a bit more. Just picked up Oud Satin Mood. Oh yeah, holy shit, that is great. I'm gonna get a bottle of that. Hopefully before year's end. I have a decant. Oud Satin Mood. I have the EDP. It is incredible. God, that is a good fragrance. 33, okay, and 30. Now we're at the point. We're gonna go ahead and talk about these Harrods Parfums Homme and Diaghilev. I guess we'll start with Harrods because, like I said, according to Justin, I smelled this one with him already. And I don't remember it. You can see the plastic still on there. I haven't sprayed it. The green jewels on the cap. Just, oh, man, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I wanted to save this to do with you guys because that oh so satisfying peel off just like a cell phone. You know, just like peeling off the protector on a cell phone. So we are going to, can't really smell through the atomizer. We are going to smell on paper. You guys know I'm not a big fan of spraying on paper, but we'll do 3 good sprays to make sure the paper is nice and coated. Ooh, smells like a Chypre. Might be a Chypre. I don't know. I didn't look at the notes. Oh, wow. That's got a bit of an old school vibe. Favorite fragrance for fall. I can't narrow it down to just one fragrance. I can't. I did my fall designer list. I did a video of fragrances I'm excited to wear for the fall. Definitely reference those. That's some of the ones I'm most excited to wear for fall. Never peel that off till you wipe your pants. Nice. So this has a Chypre vibe going for it. There's a lot of greenery and a little bit of an animalic nature. And a light fruitiness kind of smell. This is really, really, really nice. Definitely smells expensive. On the paper, I don't find it's falling flat. If it smells this good on a test strip, I can only imagine what it's like on skin. Yeah, there's something animalic here, and it smells musky, but like maybe a touch of leather. It's definitely got a bit of like a coumarin type of smell to it. There's some herbaceous, warm spice going for this. It's got a spice to it, but it smells greenery, like a lot of herbal spice. And there's this distinctive fruity smell that's not overpowering. Not saying this is a super sweet fragrance or anything. I'm now trying different colognes that you do on your channel. Hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm here as a reference. All this channel was started for was I didn't have anybody to talk about fragrances with. I was camera shy. I actually wanted to start this channel 2 years prior to, it's over 2 years old now. But the channel, based on when I wanted to start it, should be over 4 years old. I was just camera shy for the longest time. I know me, camera shy. I get it. But yeah, I started this because I didn't have anybody to talk fragrances with. And then now I get to talk to all of you. We talk fragrances all the time. I love it. I love fragrances. This is definitely a strong Chypre. I'm very curious. We're going to go ahead and now I won't be able to screen share like I do some of my videos because we're on YouTube Live. But I'm very curious as to what the notes are on here. So recap before I go into it. I'm going to say it's got a musky, almost leathery type of smell. There's some green spice here that's making it quite warm. And there's a little fruitiness. There's a specific fruit. So let's Harrods. Okay, here we go. Harrods Parfums Homme. What do the notes look like on the citrus, woody, aromatic, balsamic, amber, fresh, spicy, fresh, warm, spicy? So it doesn't say anything about animalic, but it smells a little animalic to me. So bitter orange, amberome, juniper, lemon, cashmere wood, bergamot, lime, vanilla, geranium, vetiver, neroli, violet, patchouli, oak moss, labdanum, and musk. So I'm getting some labdanum, musk, and oak moss, and that's probably some patchouli adding that darkness to it. What is this classified as? Classified as a citrus fragrance. I'm shocked. This does not smell like a citrus fragrance. There's definitely present citrus here, but I'm getting a lot of the greenery. Greens, musk, and that labdanum's got to be what's giving me that little leathery type of smell I'm giving, because labdanum's known for having a leathery smell. Man, Belcom fragrances. I've actually never heard of those. Recommendation for a first niche. So there's a default answer for that. Some of you know exactly where I'm going with this. Cedrat Boisé. This is a safe niche buy. It works for everything. It's got the Aventus vibe without smelling like Aventus. You can get them for a pretty good price from discounters. You're going to pay anywhere from 70, 80 bucks range. You might get lucky and find it in the 60s. Sometimes you can. 70s, $80 range. Solid performer, not weak, but not a beast anymore. It used to be a beast years ago. Versatile, fruity, woody, likable. It's a great scent. This is always my default answer. It just happened to be on here for my 10 niche fragrances for life are still set up on the desk here. Nice pick. Thank you. I appreciate that, Daver. Let's see. What watch are you wearing? I am wearing a Parnas Yachtmaster. It's an homage to the Rolex Yachtmaster. I have had this watch for a while, a year and a half now, almost 2 years. Yeah, I have no issues with Jeremy. Not at all. I met Jeremy. Jeremy's actually a very nice guy. That wild stuff he does on video, in person, I've never seen him be that much of a character. He's actually laid back, cool cat in person. Yeah, I get more of the base notes than I get a little bit of the citruses, but it's more about the base notes and warm spice for me with this. Smells extremely masculine. Daily wear, signature scent worthy, but I don't see this doing well. Clifton, what's going on, my man? I don't see this doing well in the heat. I think it's just too much for the heat. Spring, fall, winter, though, signature scent type of stuff. Sports jacket, it's classy. I wouldn't think to wear this with a t-shirt at all. This does not smell like a t-shirt fragrance. So now that one is out of the way, I have high hopes. And if I don't like it, it is Justin Copeland's fault, because he told me to brace myself that this is really good. Diaghilev. So we'll see. What's up, Rossi? You going to pick up? Yes, YSL Le Parfum is the only one I'm missing now. I got a bottle of the EDP from Steve at Kingdom Fragrances the other day. So it's the only one I'm missing from the collection now. I will get it at some point. Roja makes it. Yes, they do. He does. Hot Luxe, the one he made for himself that's super expensive. I smelled it with Justin off camera. I don't like it. I don't like it. And look, even Clifton, y'all are making me feel like Diaghilev's supposed to be a monster. Y'all are saying how good it is. So hold on. Let's peel the plastic. That's the best part. Okay. So Hot Luxe is the only one I've smelled so far that I was like, no, not for me. Don't like it. Smells strange on my skin. I had to wash it off. That's the only Roja Parfums fragrance I have smelled that I was just a flat out no for me. And I know the story behind it is Roja Dove made that one for himself. It's for his taste, but it's definitely not for me. So here we go. Fingerprint magnet plate, Diaghilev. So let's see. I didn't pull the notes up or anything. We're just gonna see what we're working with here. 3 good sprays. So now, Clifton, it'll also be your fault if I don't like. Wow. It is on my desk, and it is like it's right under my nose. Bryn, how are you? Holy God, this stuff is crazy powerful. Good. Let me turn this. Wow. Look, guys, it's down here. It's nowhere near my face. Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does have a lot of notes from what I remember. I just don't remember the notes, but I'm getting a lot of warmth. Just heavy dose of spice just floating in the air. Wow, that's different. This is different. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Yes, definitely a beast. What's going on, my man? Beast is an understatement. As soon as I sprayed this and just put the paper on my desk, it was like it's all in my face. There's like a candied sweetness, and it's very deep. This is a very deep fragrance that has a robust, warm spice to it, but not like pepper. There's something else making this just crazy warm. It's a balance of sweet spice is what it smells like to me. Are you the only girl here? Probably not. With 59 people, I'm pretty confident you're not the only one here. And depending on what Tara's up to, Tara will, she always pops in when I do a live. Tara, if she's not on here, which she would have said something if she was, she'll probably pop in at some point. Take your time with this one. Yeah, it's definitely, you can tell this is going to be a complex and multifaceted fragrance. It's super deep. Like, I feel like the longer I sniff, the further my olfactory is going on a journey here. So there's this dryness to it, almost like a dry wood, the longer I sniff it. So look, there we go. Joe, thank you for chiming in. Yeah, definitely. Eric, cold weather. Not even early spring. Fall, late fall, and winter. And easy 2 sprays. 2 sprays is probably more than enough. But Michelle would probably do 15. Let's be real. Michelle sprays beasts like this crazy heavy. So hey, whew, you'll smell her from good distance away. Shout out to Michelle if you happen to see this. Okay, I'm dying to know what's going on here with this note breakdown. So let's see. I'm going to say there's a lot of amber here. Yep, that's the 4th accord, amber animalic. That makes sense. It is classified as a Chypre fruity. Okay. Wow, look at the notes. Complexity. How many sprays do you typically do with Spice Bomb Extreme and other cold weather beast? I always do, if it's crazy strong, like a Dior Homme Parfum, I'll do 4, but typically 5 is a minimum for me. Really strong fragrances, 4 to 5. Moderately strong, 5 to 7, depending on where I'm going to be. Moderate average fragrance, your average fragrance to a weaker fragrance, 7 to 12. Some even 15, believe it or not. Depends. If I'm going to be outside just in the heat, I'll do 15 sprays if it's super light and super fresh. Oh, Dan's live right now too? Sweet. Yeah, this is getting much more powdery, very, very warm. The sweetness is creeping in more, but even though it's very warm, the spice is kind of calming down. What I was getting up top, I feel like there was just so much going on up top that now that it's settling down, it's really going to start showing me some more things. So just to give you guys an idea of the notes, the top is cumin, bergamot, lemon, orange, tarragon, and lime. The mid is ylang-ylang, peach, jasmine, rose, heliotrope, blackcurrant, violet, and tuberose. The base is oak moss, civet, leather, musk, cloves, patchouli, labdanum, vetiver, benzoin, amberette, which is a musk, styrax, vanilla, nutmeg, cedar, sandalwood, guaiac wood, and Peru balsam. The base is an entire fragrance in itself. The base screams dark, warm, spicy, animalic. And that is a lot of what's going on here. Dark, warm, spicy, and animalic. It's more so powdery and a little sweet right now. This is not for the faint of heart. I can't imagine any. I mean, it's going to be so few and far between on a young person that would enjoy this fragrance. Very mature. I'm not going to sit here and call it masculine, though I do find it to lean masculine, even though it's marketed as unisex. On skin will probably tell a different story, but this is another one that's so rich and complex and multifaceted that I don't believe it's falling too flat on the paper. I don't feel like I'm losing a lot on the paper. I could be wrong because I don't have it on skin. Now get Great Britain. I've heard Great Britain's something special. Diaghilev needs skin. I believe it. I believe it. Perfect description. Okay. I appreciate you letting me know that I'm kind of on point here, because that's what it's coming across to me. This, and look, I did look at the prices on this. Absurd. Absurd. I can't sit here and recommend you guys go buy this unless you just got crazy money to blow on fragrances. Get a decant, a small decant, because decants are probably expensive as hell on stuff like this. That's absurd what these 2 bottles cost. I looked at their website and converted it to USD, and it's like $1,700 worth of fragrances, these 2 100 ml bottles. Absurd. Absurd. Just crazy. Now, do they smell that expensive? Yeah. They smell high dollar. They smell like somebody well off would wear these fragrances. Like I feel like you need to dress these up. You need to do these fragrances justice because they smell like money. Because they cost a shitload of money. Not going to sit here in front like they do not. Let's check on Harrods. Oh my God, what? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're that expensive. I forgot which one's 790 pounds, 95 pounds, and the other one is 495 pounds, I believe. Converted, one of them's like $1,091. I forgot which one. USD. That's what it converts to. Yes, I said $1,091. Boy, Harrods. I have a trip coming up in a few days. I think Harrods is going to make the trip. Now, Diaghilev is Roja is money. You're right, Clifton. They had look. He's got more expensive fragrances than this. This ain't shit. When we're talking Roja Parfums, they go up to a couple $1,000 for a bottle. Some of them. I'm a film. Yeah, they're up there. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. These are outrageous. Definitely not something you're just going to go out and buy. This is upscale, high class stuff. It smells expensive. I'm not going to sit here and say they're worth it. Send you one of my frags I make. Did you see Armani just did a deal? Yeah, I saw Armani's got a great sale going on right now. Let's see. Sammy, nice to see you. So Sammy is my resident smartass. He's a smartass in my comments every day, but I love him. Love you, Sammy. Good to see you here. This is getting a lot spicier and much more animalic now that it's drying down. Yeah, Diaghilev. This might be the most complex fragrance I have now. Definitely the most expensive. I think this is the one that was $1,000 on the conversion. Studio got to step away for 5 minutes. No, not a whole lot. Just talking about the fragrance. Since I'm just talking about these two, the fragrance portion of this live is, well, the two fragrances that this was about is pretty much over at this point. I'll check on them in a little bit. I'll let them sit and dry for a little bit, and we'll just chat. LMAO, good to be here. Yeah, I always look forward to Sammy's comments. Like this morning on the Sauvage Elixir video. He said, Ross, you're crazy. Absolutely agree with you about Sauvage Elixir. You're just crazy. Okay, then. I'll take it. I'll take that as a compliment. No, you're not that late to the party. We haven't been live for too long, 22 minutes. We got 69 people, 32 likes. I appreciate everybody popping in. Yeah, there's definitely some leather in there, Clifton. It's getting in more and more. I find the civet was really starting to creep in. The ambrette and the civet were really making it musky animalic. It was dark. It was getting a lot more dark. I think the Styrax is what was really darkening it up. Let's see. Nutmeg, cloves. Oh, it's got to be the cloves. The cloves are definitely contributing to that. Cloves adds that dark, warm spice, you know. Some people hate cloves in a fragrance. I actually like it. It does add an old school smell to it. So if you don't like old school fragrances, if there's something heavy in cloves, you probably won't like it. Just what it is. Where are you going on your next trip? So the wife wants to go hit the casino. So Tuesday and Wednesday, we are going to go do the casino trip, Black Hawk, out in the mountains. The last couple times I went to the casino, that's where we went because it's like 2 hours away. It's not too far of a drive. It's almost like what Biloxi was when I lived in Homme. Biloxi was a little over 2 hours of a drive. Clove is nice when done right. I agree, Clifton. I like clove in a fragrance. I really do. Ryan, I didn't know you were that big into clove. I did not know that. That's probably why I like Windsor so much from English Laundry. That's heavy on the clove. Now, granted, it's a synthetic fragrance, but I love it. And look, last year I didn't spend enough time with Windsor like I did the previous year. So this year for the fall and winter, I'm going to try to go back to the fragrances I did not wear that much this past fall and winter that I was wearing the seasons the year prior. So I'm going to be focusing on doing that. So Andrew, message me on Facebook Messenger or on Instagram in my DMs, and we'll have a conversation. We'll talk about it. Love you, bro. I'm out. Enjoy the weekend. Clifton, be safe, my man. Always good to talk to you. Thank you for popping in, showing some love. So what's everybody got planned for the weekend? Sound off in the comments. Let's chat. We got the 2 Roja Parfums fragrances out the way. Let's talk. Cool. I appreciate it. Have you had an opportunity to try business over pleasure? Shameless plug, since we're going to talk about reviewers making their own fragrances. So we're nearing the end. Andrea, y'all should be seeing an announcement for the Siren being sold out within the next few days, most likely. She's almost sold out. She's going to be the first to be sold out. Me and Justin are not too far behind, so we're nearing the very end of the Zed Creators project. So we are almost out. Legitimately almost out at this point. There are still some shave sets left. You can now get the soap and aftershave splashes separately without having to get the kits now. I just saw Gentleman's Nod switched it to that yesterday, but ordering mine tomorrow. I appreciate that, Dave. I hope you really like it, man. Pasha de Cartier. So the only one I have is Parfum, and it's incredible. I just put it in my fall designer list. Can't wait to wear that one again. It's still a little too warm for me to wear that one right now. It's got a similar vibe to like the original Bentley for Men without smelling exactly like it. That boozy, spicy, woody type of smell. But it's much more smooth, much more gentlemanly. Than Bentley for Men's more raw, rough and edgy. Pasha de Cartier Parfum is much smoother. Badass. Curious speaker behind you. So at the beginning, we were talking about that. That's a Rockford Fosgate P312. And then right below it is a custom box for my Challenger that is a Solar Barrack L712 from Kicker. So every other year, I get a new sub. I just like to switch it up. And I don't get rid of my old ones. Older ones I've gotten rid of, but I don't know what. We're going to be building a house in about 2 years, and I'm thinking about doing something badass in my shop that I'm going to build. So I'm probably saving those for that. Texas, Alabama boy, what's going on, pimpin'? Basehead. Yes, I've always been a basehead my entire life. My dad, my uncle, that's our thing. So let's see. Most complex designer. Ooh, that's a tough question. Let's see. Gotta go. All right, Alex, appreciate you stopping in. Thank you, man. Not yet. I just tripped to Vegas and LA. Okay, damn. I'll be trying the frags in the fall coming. Sweet. Miguel, I appreciate that. That's a very nice compliment you're paying me. I greatly appreciate that. I don't go live that often. I'm trying to work that into the channel more often, where we can just sit here and chat. You guys can sound off in the comments, and we'll just talk about it. I'll always start with some fragrances that just came in, like these 2 Roja Parfums fragrances we just talked about. Diaghilev, for those of you that weren't here in the beginning, and Harrods Parfum Parfum. I think Harrods is going to come with me on my trip. I'm really digging that. That's smoothing out a lot more. Wow. Diaghilev. That's something serious, boy. Whew. Not for the faint of heart. To continue the story of the fragrance, what are some things you'd like to have in it? So I actually talked about that on an Instagram live with Total Fashion Zents. Shout out to you, Maggie, if you see this. So business over pleasure is for the business professional. I'm telling a story about this one specific person, this one specific business professional, myself, especially during the time when I created this. And it's a work essentially refined, well put together, versatile, easy to like, inoffensive, not in your face. So at the same time, the follow-up to continue the story would be when he clocks out at 5 o'clock on Friday. The more brash, attention-seeking side of his personality comes out. So people have complained that, oh, business over pleasure, it's not strong enough. It's not this, it's not that. Business over pleasure is exactly what it's supposed to be. For me, I get about 7 hours. I've got a lot of people that tell me get 8, 9, 10. Some people get 4, 5, 6. Some people get 3. What it's going to do on your skin and your clothes and all that's going to vary. But the follow-up, which I'm not going to tell you guys the name, I'm just kind of telling you the story, because I do have a name in the event I ever get to continue the story. It is going to be loud and brash. It's going to be an attention getter. It's going to take the base DNA and twist it. It would be a flanker to the base DNA, but it would be extremely loud. It's for the brash, attention-seeking side of that same man's personality. So business over pleasure, the Monday to Friday work fragrance for the professional go-getter side of the personality, and then the flanker, which I will not share the name at the moment because I don't know if I'll ever get to do it or not. So in the event I don't know what I want nobody to take the name. Not saying it will happen, but it could happen. That will be a much louder, more attention-getting fragrance. They will be the same base DNA, but opposite ends of the spectrum, literally opposite ends of the spectrum. So if I ever do get to do that, that's what it's going to be. I'm not going to break down notes the way I would want to twist it. I already know exactly what I would want to do. But it would be true to the original, but go in another direction, but not too far off the path. But the performance would be night and day. It's not the fragrance he would wear to work. Whereas the fragrance he wears to work, he would not wear in his personal time when he's partying, he's out having fun. So, ever gotten 8+ hours? Lamal and Polo Red Extreme. Polo Red Extreme doesn't get love anymore. I have a bottle of that. I need to wear that this fall. I used to wear it pretty often. Ultra Pleasure. No, that's not it. Ross's Ultra Male. No, that's not it either. I have to really do this Instagram. Yeah, Instagram's where it's at. Instagram is better than Facebook. I like Instagram more than Facebook. I just do. I have content that's strictly for Instagram. Lives. I do more lives over there on other channels and on my own. IGTVs. I do Instagram specific written reviews, still images on my community post. Those still images you see are pretty much strictly for the YouTube community post now, because my scent of the day posts aren't still images anymore. Now I usually do a TikTok and then I share it to Instagram Reels, where I'm actually literally going through the spray routine of what I'm wearing for the day. So the content's changed a little bit for scent of the day as well. Love the man cave sign. So I actually have a lot of stuff that I haven't put up in here. It's one of those deals where we're going to be here maybe another year, so I don't want to make anything too permanent in here. So I haven't put a whole lot of stuff on the walls, just the stuff you guys see in the videos. That's mainly for backdrop for the videos, because there's a lot of stuff that I need to put up, because what I plan on building is going to be a much more complex, roomy type of man cave setup / studio. It's gonna be more of a studio than a man cave this go round, whereas this is kind of a man cave that doubles as a studio for content. Cool Water Parfum. I still want to try it. I haven't tried it yet. At some point I'm gonna buy it. It keeps getting put on the back burner. I will get a bottle at some point. I've heard it's kind of similar to Prada Luna Rosa Carbon, and if that's the case, I'll like it because I love carbon. I enjoy your IG too. I know you do. I know you do. You're on all my platforms. I appreciate that, Devin. Let's see. Damn, I really need to get it because I love when you go live. I've been around since day one. Used to go live often in the beginning. I didn't really go live in the beginning. This is only the third live on this channel, and all 3 have been in the last 2 months. I just started doing it. I have a little bit more time to go live now. I try to work it in a bit more. And it's not something that's happening every week, but I try to do it when I can now. Why you always moving? Shout out from Houston. So I lived in Louisiana for 32 years. I lived in Texas for 4 years. It was kind of an in-between, figuring out exactly what I wanted to do long-term. And now we're in Colorado Springs. My wife has family here. We are going to be living here long-term. I'm not always moving, but I appreciate you asking. Have you tried Phantom? Yes, I did a first impressions video on Phantom. It's kind of strange. I haven't gone back to it since. I do need to revisit. It's strange, but good strange. You know, I can see why it's getting some love. It's sweet like you would expect from Paco Rabanne. They mostly do sweet fragrances, but it doesn't smell like all the rest of them. I was thinking it would be along the lines of 1 million, but it wasn't, luckily. Give them the dad tone. Went to Ross in Hollywood, and they had some good stuff, but it was expensive. They probably do have some, because with the rack stores, it's very targeted to where they send certain fragrances. I've learned that because when I was in Texas, I used to find good stuff all the time. Now it's shit out here. Most of the time, I'm looking for. I'm like, I really got to hunt out here. And there's only one Marshalls. Sucks. Where I was at in Texas, I had like 7 of them in a 10-mile radius. Let's see. What's your favorite Mercedes-Benz cologne? Mercedes-Benz cologne. The blue one, the one that smells like Dior Homme cologne. That's the best. I love it. I like it better than Dior Homme cologne, to be honest with you. I have not tried the new Dior Vanilla Diorama. I have not tried it. Smells very similar to Sauvage and Carbon. Well, and then I'll like it. You know, I'll definitely like it if that's the case, because that's what I've heard about it. Was that it's kind of like Carbon, maybe a little bit smoother, which Carbon's a little bit smoother than Sauvage. So if that's the case, I'll definitely enjoy it. No, I have not tried Oud Galore. I know Justin raves about it. That is on my list of fragrances to get before the year's out from Chris Collins. You know, him and Grace love that fragrance. We've had conversations about it. Plus, you see how they talk about it on video. Justin recommends it all the time. They love it. So the Marshalls in Denver sucks. I'm sure it does, because the Marshalls here in Colorado Springs sucks. The Burlingtons are my best bet. The TJ Maxx's kind of suck for the most part over here. The one in Castle Rock and the one we have over here in town. Any thoughts on Scandal? Which Scandal? Are you talking about the new Jean-Paul Gaultier? Or are you talking about Roja Parfums Scandal? Which one? The new Bulgari is so boring. That's what I heard. I had high hopes for it. I'm kind of turned off. That's why I try not to watch something, you know, a review on something that I plan on getting, because as soon as I do, it's either going to get me overly excited or ruin it for me. Because especially if it's somebody I trust talking about how they don't care for it, then it ruins it for me. It ruins it for me. Sweet Taboo, the best, Chris Collins. Noted. Sammy's Labor Day is what, 5. I would definitely go Green Sapphire if you're looking for a good clone of Bleecker Street from Bond Number 9. That is a great clone. Red Sapphire if you're looking for a great clone of Baccarat Rouge 540. I love Fruity Seduction. It's better than Tom Ford Lost Cherry, in my opinion. What's another one? Oh, Purple Sapphire. It's basically Side Effect. A little bit boozier. Polo Leather Supreme. I still want that one. I have not tried it yet. The Cashmere one, I want to get that as well. There's so many fragrances I want, guys. It's unreal. I love variety when it comes to fragrances. It's just so many that I want, and I'm not made of money, so it takes years to get this kind of stuff, and I'll never go through all of these. Most of these fragrances will outlive me, and I'm cool with that. I know what I'm getting into when I buy these things. Go Pack Go. Sorry for your Saints. It is what it is, man. You know, good luck when y'all run into Brady in the NFC Championship. It's going to be a good one, because I love me some Aaron Rodgers, but Bucks are rough. They really are. Bucks are rough. It's hard to sit here and say Brady might not win another ring this year. I kissed the ring goodbye when Breeze retired. I'm pulling for Jameis. I'm hoping that he'll be better than he was in Tampa Bay. He was an 8-8 quarterback with talent around him in Tampa Bay. Well, we've taken a dive in talent. We have no decent number 2. Callaway's got to emerge, and Michael Thomas is hurt. Kamara can't do it all. So I don't have super high hopes for my team. I'm looking at like 6 wins, but I'm still a Saints fan. I'm still going to be wearing my Saints gear all the time. I'm still going to be rooting. But I'm a fan, not a fool. So, fragrance, would you happily pay retail if discounters didn't have it? Anything they release in the Spice Bomb line, because the last 2 releases I bought the day they dropped in the U.S., Infrared and Night Vision EDP. Every time they drop, I have no issues paying retail. I had no problem paying retail for H24. What else did I pay retail for recently? Polo Cologne Intense EDP. I had no issues paying retail. I pay retail for a lot of stuff too. I don't just bargain hunt. If I'm really excited about a release, I want it immediately. I don't want to wait. Invictus Victory, that disappointed me. I'm glad I didn't buy it upon release, and I'm glad I smelled it at Sephora, because I'm not impressed. Will I get it one day? I don't know. I need to wear it again. That was just one wearing. But where it stands right now, I'm not impressed. Spraying. I plagiarized that move. Oh, it's not plagiarizing. I haven't patented any type of hand gesture. I appreciate that, though. That is kind of my signature, though. I've had people comment over the years that they hate it and it's cringe, and I basically tell them to fuck off and unsubscribe in a nice way. And then I have people that it cracks them up and they love it, like you, and I appreciate that, because at the end of the day, if you want to critique me to the point to where you clearly don't like me, The hell are you watching me for? I don't watch shit I don't want to watch on YouTube. If I'm shit you don't want to watch, don't watch. But if you want to watch me just to critique me and spread me all over the internet and make sure I make ad revenue, by all means, hook me up, pimpin'. Smell Sauvage Elixir again, because some of those assholes are watching right now. By the way, for those of you that are watching, that love to talk about me, eat a dick. Let's see. Can't stop watching. You wear F black in the fall and winter. Yes, I don't think that does well in the heat. I don't. It's heavy. It's a heavy aromatic, but the pepper's so much up top that I think it's a little cloying if it's real hot. Early spring or indoors when it's hot, sure. But I would definitely go more so fall and winter with that. It can be a little cloying. It's still pretty powerful for what it is. I mean, it's not some beast like it was 5-6 years ago, but it's still like a 6 or 7 hour fragrance on me, even bordering 8 hours. And it's pretty heavy in the first 2 hours for me. My bottle's 2 or 3 years old, and I'm sure it hasn't been heavily watered down or anything since then. I mean, it was cheap then. I paid like $17 for it back then. I appreciate you. Typically when I pull it out, especially for work, I'm going somewhere. Yeah, that makes sense. So the reason why I started. I appreciate that, Dylan. Thank you, man. Sammy said it's totally me. I don't know, Tammy. I mean, Sammy, I don't know. I feel like you're just outspoken and like to have fun. And if it is you, eat a dick. Just like I said before, it is what it is. You know, fragrance that you have multiple backups of. English Laundry Windsor, Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct Together, Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. I have single backups of several things, but that's the ones I have multiple backups of. Mr. Tammy to you. There you go, Sammy. Sorry about that. Tammy just kind of came out. Mr. Tammy. What's your question, Dylan? Planning on picking up new Killian fragrances. I'm not really that into Killian, honestly. I've smelled a lot of their stuff. Smelled some stuff with Andrea, Anthony, and Justin in Chicago when they did their Killian video on Andrea's channel a couple of months ago. And, you know, Angel Share I do like. I have a decant of. Roses on Ice was okay. I like Black Phantom, stuff like that. Straight to Heavens, like none of it screams, Ross, you need to buy it. You know, I guess the house overall isn't completely my taste. I don't think anything bad about them, but they don't strike me as something I need or want. That's why I don't really buy anything by Killian. So let's see. Have you smelled CH Mint Privé? Yes. I used to feature it pretty heavily in the beginning of my channel. It comes across more synthetic to me these days. Still like it though. Sweet and boozy, a little spicy, sexy bad boy kind of smell, you know. It still does the same job it's always done. Got Barbershop. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like a spicy shaving cream. Some good stuff. It really is. Well, not in Tom Ford. I don't know if I ever liked them. And I have nothing against the Tom Fords. They're just really expensive. They make some really good. The Tom Fords, there's some really good fragrances. They're just really expensive. You know? Favorite PDM. I have to go with Cologne. I just featured it in my 10 niche fragrances for life. That was very hard to narrow down to just the one. But I have to go with Cologne because it's so spicy and so different. I just dig that about it. It's spicy and different. I love spicy. And it doesn't smell like every other fragrance. When will you show your whole collection? So I get asked that all the time. So it's a ginormous pain in the ass to pull out a lot of fragrances at once. To pull out 20 at once is kind of a pain in the ass. I can't imagine pulling hundreds out. So unless y'all are okay with me just panning across, it's probably never going to happen because I just have too many at this point. Top 3 Amouage. So I only have 2 Amouage. I have several decants. I love Journeyman. Enclave is just magnificent. I do really like Meander, but I'm not going to throw that in there. I would have to say Epic Man, Journeyman, and Enclave are my 3 favorites. Yes, I really love Jubilation before anybody goes freaking out that I didn't say Jubilation. They got a ton of good stuff. I just haven't had an opportunity to dive too heavy into the house. I've smelled like 6 or 7 of their fragrances. Overture, man, I need a bottle. Just crazy expensive and got to get it from overseas. Amouage is, for lack of a better term, they're a home run house. They make all kinds of great stuff. All right, let's see. Let me catch back up. Yes, I have a decant of Angel Share. Angel Share, if I was to buy one Killian fragrance, that's probably the one I would buy. I really like that. That's a really good fragrance. Get the EDP of the Parfum. Forgot to mention, check y'all's Walmart. Mark down their colognes. I'm manager for Walmart, and I got light blue, 50 ml for $8. Marc Jacobs Daisy for $14. You heard it here, guys. If you need a bottle of light blue, go to Walmart. Apparently, they're dirt cheap right now. Let's see. You can pick one fragrance for the rest of your life. What would it be? Can I be biased and say business over pleasure? That's tough. It's so hard to narrow it down to just one fragrance. There was a time when I would have said Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. There was a time many years ago I would have said that. Nowadays, excluding business over pleasure, that's tough. Man, that's tough. Why EDT? That probably surprised a lot of you. Surprises me even. It's so fresh and versatile. I dig it so much that I could see myself wearing that every day for the rest of my life if I needed to just wear one fragrance. I know that's a shocking answer. Why EDT? Off the cuff. Now, if I had time to sit here and think about it for 30 minutes, that answer would probably change. But right here on the spot, I think why EDT? For someone who's never owned the original or any of the flankers. Well, the one that gives you a little bit of everything from the line is the Eau de Parfum. It's still pretty fresh. It's still got more spice. It's not as sweet as the Parfum. It's not as spicy as Elixir. I think the EDP is the happy medium. It's not as youthful, but still maintains a lot of the appeal of the EDT. I would say EDP would be the one to at least try. See, if you like the EDP, I think you'll like a lot of the others. If you don't like the EDP, you might not like any of them. Because, like I said, the EDP kind of has facets of the whole line in one bottle. I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you. See a lot of old school wrestling memorabilia. Oh, yeah. I watch everything. WWE's dying. They're releasing all the good talent to pay all these old timers to come back for one-offs. The Brock Lesnar thing is to hold them off for 2 months because The Rock only does WrestleMania. If you're following the Roman Reigns storyline, the Rock's gonna have to be the person to beat him, and then he'll turn around and drop the belt like a month later because y'all know the Rock's like the busiest Hollywood actor in the world. So that's the way I think that storyline is going to go. Brock Lesnar's back. They're going to drag that on for 2 months, and then they're going to build for WrestleMania. It's going to be there's acknowledge me. There's no one left to beat, and then all of a sudden it's going to hit. If you smell, mark my words. But I'm an AEW guy. Love AEW. Impact's kind of fallen off. So I know a lot of you don't care about the wrestling stuff, but he asked me a wrestling question. Yes, I do follow it. No, Overture does not remind me of Creation E at all. That is way more dark, smoky, just almost ashtray kind of smoky. It's bold. I don't think Creation E is near as bold. One cheapie for life. Aqua Essenziale Blue, hands down. Which that may have been, if I'd have thought about it for a minute, that might have been my pick instead of YEDT. Because that can work even in more situations. Santa Lucia. They reached out to me when they first did everything, and I turned them down. I wasn't interested. You know how I know a lot of you recall that I tell you guys you have no idea how much I actually turned down. Everybody thinks I just get all kinds of stuff for free and I accept anything and everything. No, I turned down Santa Lucia a while back. They were surprised. They offered to pay and everything, and I wasn't interested. It's not about making $1. I don't make money on any of these videos. I make ad revenue, and when you guys buy something through my affiliate links, I make that. I just wasn't interested. I turned down a lot more stuff than you guys think. Love AEW. Me too. Me too. Fun fact, Roman, yes, he does. I saw the GQ interview for his must-have items, and Creed Aventus is what Roman Reigns wears. Yes, I saw that on YouTube, the GQ interview. That is his fragrance of choice. I'm not surprised because he's got the money, and guys that aren't in the fragrance world, and so what's a great expensive cologne? Creed Aventus. I can see that happening. Yes, the late 90s were the height of wrestling, and it'll never be that again. Mid to late 90s. Yes, I agree. Around 2000. Yeah, Attitude Era. Monday Night Wars to the Attitude Era. That was the peak. Let's see. Ross missed my comment. I'm so offended. Which comment? Because there's so many comments. Let me scroll up now, Sammy. I don't want you to feel neglected. I don't want you to go getting mad at me. Where's it at, Sammy? I don't see it. I'm scrolling and scrolling. Can you please repeat it, sir, Mr. Tammy? 23, started watching in 07, so it was near the end of Ruthless Aggression. Yeah, so you really started watching when the PG era hit, which wasn't around that. It was years later, but the 2000 teens, all about, wholesome kiddie entertainment. Too late. Okay, well, it's up to you. If you don't want me to answer your question, that's no big deal. Do you still wear Nautica Classic every day? No, I never wore it every day. I mean, not since I was a kid. I've been trying to mix it up with my out the shower rotation at night, because I was wearing so much Nautica, a lot of stuff wasn't getting worn. Like, I've been wearing Z by Xenia a lot lately. Since I got Perry Ellis Aqua, I've been wearing that a lot at night to really give these other fragrances some chance. The stuff that I deem something I would wear out the shower, I need to give it some wear, you know? But I do mix it back in here and there for sure. Versace Pour Homme. Yeah, once PG only watch for CM Punk. Yeah. I can't wait to. I'm actually going to rent the pay-per-view tomorrow to see him and Darby Allin, and that will be Chris Jericho's last match. They don't advertise a retirement match unless somebody's retiring. So if you want to see Chris Jericho's last match, order All Out on pay-per-view through, I believe it's through Bleacher Report. So he's going to be going to the broadcast booth. Actually, that is what's on pause right now, is AEW Rampage. We're talking about wrestling, and that's what's on pause right here on the next screen. I don't have it on my big TV. I got 3 monitors right here. So I was actually, before I decided to do this live, I was watching Rampage from yesterday. So, good fragrance to wear in San Francisco. I have no idea. Whatever fragrance you deem you want to wear while you're in San Francisco. Favorite Versace fragrance would probably have to be Pour Homme. It's a close call with Dylan Blue, but I'd probably have to say Versace Pour Homme. I only own one fragrance from Zaharoff, and that's a Cento, and I think it's so special. I only wear it to like weddings and stuff like that. I so rarely wear that fragrance. You can see it right over my shoulder, right there. That's a Cento. I won that in one of the giveaways at 2019 Scent Explorer. I have smelled Naxos. I have a sample that Clifton gave me, an official sample, and it never struck me as something I needed to get a bottle of. It's a very common scent profile. There's a lot of fragrances that smell like Naxos. Light blue too weak, performance. No, because I don't buy fragrances based on performance. So I'm not the guy to ask. I buy fragrances based on smell. And to me, light blue is one of the best smelling fragrances ever. Ever, ever, ever. I don't have to have a fragrance do 8, 10, 12 hours. I don't mind refreshing. I never have. Because if I only based what I do off of performance, I would have a third of the fragrances I have. Light blue forever, I am going to get at some point. I didn't jump on the hype train when it released. Because there was other things I was eagerly anticipating that were coming out that I knew I was going to pay retail for. So I didn't mess with it yet, but I am going to get it at some point. Appreciate the content and all your views. I appreciate that, Sub-Zero. Thank you, man. So my recommendation for Sammy is always Blue Sapphire is the go-to. It's his version of Roja Parfums Elysium. It's a little bit more fruity. Doesn't have the herbaceousness, the fougere qualities. It's got the leather and stuff like that, and it performs a lot better. It's really good. Argos rank, Triumph of Bacchus, Bacio Immortel, Bravito della Caccia, then Pour Homme. I talked to Christian the other day. He's got a new fragrance coming. I can't give a date because he didn't give me an exact date, but he did give me a month, and I don't know if it's okay for me to say, but there is a new Argos fragrance coming before the year's end. I'll give you that. I won't say which month, but before year's end. No, I'm not waiting for winter to buy it. It's just it hasn't been heavy on my radar. I've heard it's great. I haven't tried it. Love your channel. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's see. Any fragrance I find that smells super special typically gets worn during Christmas parties. Yeah, anything I deem just special, if it's special to me in any way, I'll save it for certain events. And when you get so many like I have, that can be a bad thing because then you have 50 fragrances you deem special, even if it's 15 fragrances you deem special. Now, when that type of special event comes around, which one are you going to grab? Now you got to pick between the 15, and it's the one time and however long this type of event comes along. So it can cause a problem. Tiffany for Men, that old vintage bottle I have, that I've only worn that like 3 or 4 times since I got it. I've had it for years now, but I deem it that special. I wore it when we went to Chicago to shoot the interviews for the launch, for all the stuff we were doing for launch. The first time we went to Chicago this year. Light Blue Sun is awesome. It smells a little bit like suntan lotion, but not that nauseating kind of overly designer synthetic coconut. It does have some of it in there, but it's not too much. It's basically like adding a little bit of that suntan lotion smelling coconut to the light blue DNA. It's very good. I like that one. Yes, that is super cheapy, but it's not one that I really recommend. I mean, there was a time in junior high when I got a few of those, like really ripped abs and stuff like that. I'm not going to sit here and say there wasn't a time in my life when I had a bottle. 90s barbershop type fragrance. Whew. 90s specifically, or just an older barbershop style fragrance? Because these days, a Zaharoff Pour Homme gets more hate than love, and I think it's great. If you like a spicy aromatic, it's got that, you know, that aftershave smell, but it's really spicy. Zaharoff Pour Homme's still good to me. And that's way older than 90s, though. I know you do, Greg. I appreciate you watching all the time, my man. Thank you. Light blue or intense have subtle scent people don't like. Don't really understand the question, because light blue and light blue intense are wildly revered as great, fragrances people love. So I don't understand that comment, actually. London Christmas party and Damien. Yeah, London's like the Christmas fragrance. Every time I smell London, I think of Christmas. Polo green. Oof, I love polo green. People call it old man smell. I don't give a shit. I love that stuff. That's some good stuff. When I was in junior high, that was the scent I would wear to the school dances. I used to have a little 40 ml years ago. I have a 100 ml of the newest version. Platinum Egoist. That's a good one. That's a damn good one. London is great. Terrible longevity and performance-wise. Platinum Egoist is 90s. So that came out 90s? Because I'm not sure. But that's a great one. That's a revered barbershop fragrance. My comment must be getting filtered out. What was your comment? I haven't seen it. I'm trying to steadily read the comments, Sammy. I don't know what it was. Are you cursing in it or anything like that? Because YouTube's been pretty bad about that lately. When you type something vulgar or anything like that, or certain curse words, I've noticed they pull those comments. Devin Montgomery, he's a regular on my channel every day. Some of his comments YouTube automatically pulls, and he'll complain to me about it. I'm like, dude, I'm not pulling it. So he's been having some issues with YouTube doing that. It all depends on what you say. YouTube's policing stuff a lot more these days. Good TLTG. Try anything. Nasamato and Memo, I have not. There's a ton of stuff I have not tried. Last question. Do you think Dior Parfum is I don't know. I've heard mostly no, it's not different, but I've heard some yeses that it's different. I have 2 bottles of the 75 ml, which is magnifique. Such a great one, of my top 5 all time, my opinion. Mount Rushmore fragrance, Dior Parfum. I've heard the 100 ml is a little bit fresher up top, but basically the same performance and the same scent. And if that's the case, then by all means, if you live on that side of the ocean, grab it, because it's not easy to get over here in the States. The 100 ml is not available here in the States, and it's very hard to get it shipped. You got to get somebody to help you out, hook you up, deal with customs, all that crap. So and getting a 75 ml on eBay, unbelievable. Centric Molecule, no, haven't tried any of those. They never struck me as something I needed to get my hands on. aquatic note still doesn't sit well with. And look, light blues, just like I always say, not everything's for everyone, and not everybody likes light blue. Just the majority do. It's so beloved. That's why it spawned so many flankers. You don't spawn that many flankers and be around this many years unless people really like it. It's not so much about us, the community. It's the masses, the average person that still buys fragrances at retail that have been out for 20 years at Macy's and Dillard's and places like that, that walk in, that's, you know, my bottle of Aqua di Gio is out, time for another bottle. Those guys are who make these fragrances so relevant. Favorite Cremo, still spice and black vanilla. Creed Aventus cologne is very good. It smells very good. It just doesn't smell different enough for me to want to spend the money. It's just fresher. It's a fresher version of Aventus, basically. Take some smokiness away. And if I want a fresher version of Aventus, I got bondnumber9.com for that. It's fresher and fruitier. I highly disagree with you on L'Homme Ideal Intense being the best in the line. I just got Extreme and it's miles better. If you disagree, you can eat the proverbial. Nice. He brought it back. Good job, Sammy. Sammy brought it back. I see you. I haven't smelled Extreme on skin. I smelled it on paper in a smell and rate video with Justin, and it was okay. On skin's probably better, but I do love the L'Intense the most. I'm gonna get Extreme eventually. It's the one I don't have. I need to get it to complete the line, because I mean, when you get the majority, you need the completionist in me wants to get the whole line. So I will get it at some point, and I'll bring it to the channel and we'll talk about it. And you might absolutely be right. I mean, that's awesome that you like it more. Maybe I'll end up liking it more too. But where I stand right now, L'Intense is my favorite. No, Zaharoff. What is that? Zaharoff. Zaharoff. How do you say that, Ryan? I'm not familiar. Getting a sample of Aventus from DKX. So I don't know about the newer batches, but since the buyout, I've heard performance is a lot weaker these days. So be wary of that, because Aventus, you know, Aventus and stuff like that, they're very expensive. Prada Amber Intense. I have not. I have Prada Amber, but I haven't tried Amber Intense. The masses are nothing like us. Yeah, they aren't. They aren't. I mean, we're way too into it. We overcomplicate things with layering, and which I don't do, but people ask me about it all the time. We overcomplicate things. They just want the one fragrance. They're going to give themselves a few sprays, not necessarily in the perfect spots. They got their little routine, and they're wearing it every day, no matter what they're wearing, no matter what time of year, no matter where they're going. I have childhood friends that are like that. My buddy Keith, his 2 fragrances he's been wearing for years, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue and Aqua di Gio. That is his fragrance wardrobe. The 2 most common, most well-liked designer fragrances. Freshies, you know. Thoughts on Joe Malone? I do not have any thoughts to offer. Gentleman Boisé. I'm not sure. I'm not going to go into what it smells similar to, but I'll tell you, if you're looking for a spicy, woody iris fragrance, Gentleman Boisé is great for that. Not a beast, average performance, but it's a spicy, woody iris. And not spicy, woody iris like Business Over Pleasure. Business Over Pleasure is a much fresher and creamier spicy, woody iris, fresh spicy, ginger, Sichuan pepper, stuff like that. Whereas that is more black pepper. It's warmer. It's a warm, woody spice. So, and that's a little bit waxier of an iris. I used to be that guy. A lot of people used to be that guy. You know, there's nothing wrong with Aqua di Gio. I still wear it on occasion. I got 2 bottles of it. It's an all-time classic. I'll never hate on Aqua di Gio. I love the line. I love the original. The original is my least favorite in the line. Tomorrow I plan on wearing Profondo Lights. Haven't wore that in a couple of weeks. And fall's around the corner for me, so I'm going to wear that before it starts getting too cool. Aqua versus, oh, well, come on now. If you watch me, you know Invictus Aqua is my favorite fragrance. There's no contest there. Let's see. Same feels one from the reason why I started buying Happy Land. And look, EJ, I'm not going to say the name of it, but I have a picture of the label already. EJ, he told me a few months ago that he was going to be making this, and now it's in production. But I'll just say that there's a very spicy fragrance coming from Happy Land very, very soon. And I told him Shameless is a certified home run, so you better be ready, Mr. Wells. You better bring the heat. I know, and pun intended, because it's a spicy fragrance. But the label looks cool. It's gonna fit this. The name fits the scent profile, but EJ has a new fragrance coming for the fall. It's gonna be good. It always is. EJ puts out some really good stuff. Which discontinued fragrances you want them back? Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Cologne. Should have never went away. It's too good. Too well loved. It's a rabbit hole. Yeah. Rabbit hole is an understatement for how we're into fragrances. I mean, when I go, whoever wants them can have them. I mean, who knows if I live to grow to be an old man in my 80s or 90s when I go. Who knows what'll be spoiled, what'll still be good. A lot of the niche fragrances should still be good. Maybe the top note, some of the citruses are the first to go when it comes to spoiling. But whoever wants them can have them, basically. I mean, it's not something you take to the grave, It's very good. EDP is butt. Oh, disagree. I love EDP. Let's see. It's got Reflection Man. Reflection Man is good. I have a decan of that. I've been needing to get a bottle for a couple of years. Leather and Oud's a little rough. It is a performance monster, but it's a little too synthetic for the scent profile. I think that hurts it. It's too synthetic for that scent profile. That's my opinion. I know you're a huge fan of Cremo, Dylan. I know that's 90% of your posts in the Fragrance Lounge. I know you're a big Cremo guy. For me personally, I think it's for the scent profile, it's too synthetic. Now, Bergamot and Musk, I think that was very good. I got very faint Aventus comparisons there. But as a standalone fragrance in its own right, it was enjoyable. I wish they wouldn't have discontinued that one. I thought that was a good fragrance. Dior Homme Voyage. No, I've seen it online, obviously, but I've never smelled it or seen it for sale anywhere. She said she wasn't ready for the frag head in me. Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Cool. Cologne is the one I wish they would bring back, because Cool is what replaced it. And while it smells like, those of you that have seen me talk about it before, picture the green ice cream and mint chocolate chip ice cream. It's that kind of mintiness, that creamy, cool, cold, like green ice cream. It's good. It's not great. Cologne was great. So they stepped down with what replaced it. My opinion, of course. So, shoot, we've been on here a little over an hour. Let's see, what time is it? We're after 5 now. Wish I could try Spice Bomb Fresh. That is great. That is probably the most versatile Spice Bomb in the collection, because it's just fresh enough. The grapefruit and the sea salt freshen it up just enough while it still maintains the majority of being what the original Spice Bomb is, to where you can wear it anytime. It's still strong enough to wear in the winter. That was a year-round signature scent spicy fragrance. That was awesome. That's another one that needs to come back. I agree with that too. Cool is good. Cologne is slightly better. That's a good way to put it. I'm not saying Cologne's the greatest in the line or anything, but comparing one to the other, Cologne's the winner in my opinion, for sure. Cool is good. Cologne is slightly better. That's a good way to put it, Sammy. We're having fun. You guys want to stay on? We'll stay on a little bit longer. If you guys are having fun. We still have 75 people, 79 people just jumped to. We'll stay for a little bit longer, talk a little bit more. Let's see. Which fragrance house does the best presentation box in your opinion? That's tough, because there's a lot that do a great job. I'm gonna have to turn and look for a second here. So we'll get that out the way. Give me a second. That's tough. So based on what I have, I'm going to narrow it down to 3. The first one, y'all can call it bias. I don't give a shit. Zaharoff. Those 3-piece boxes, because it's a plate and then 2 pieces to the box. So it's 3-piece box. George gets better and better with every flanker. If you've seen the rosé box, it's outrageous. Wait till you see Tabac. Wait till you see Citrine, and so on. And then there's more stuff in the 2 years from now that he's already got lined up. I've seen the prints for. Zaharoff is the first one I'm going to say. Second is going to be Roja Parfums, because I mean, it's just a beautiful presentation. Looks like it's sitting on a silk pillow, you know. Very well made boxes. The bottles and everything are, you know, they're stock bottles, but they're custom caps, custom labels, the, you know, the whole nine. And then Argos. Christian does wonderful presentations. Those bottles are remarkable. He's upgraded the atomizers and the caps, the stoppers in the stem of the atomizer. He's changed. He's refined an already refined look even more. So I would say Argos. I mean, this is all, I mean, Zaharoff being the least expensive of the three houses I just named, but they focus on presentation as well as their scents. They try to bring you the complete package. So I would say those are the three that come to mind for me. You recommend something that you don't talk about in your top 10 videos? Well, it depends on what you're looking for. I'm not just going to throw a random fragrance out, you know. Give me more to work with. I love Nichane. I've only got 3, and they're the only 3 I've smelled. Ani, Fan Your Flames, and Hasavat, and I love all 3, especially Ani. Ani is incredible. That's one of my favorite pickups ever, let alone this year. I haven't dove into the other ones yet. I've heard all of the other Oolong Cha and I've heard they're all great. I'm going to dive into the house more and more over the next 1.5 to 2 years. It's going to take time. This stuff's not cheap, you know. Worst presentation, but great fragrance. That's tough because so many have just a basic thin cardboard box. So there's endless amounts that fall into that category. That's tough. Because that would include the bottle and cap for worst presentation, not just the box. I'll have to get back. I'm going to have to spend some time thinking about that one. That's a tough one. That's a damn good question, Tommy. Damn good question. Night Vision EDP, I agree. You didn't put enough flame emojis, in my opinion. It needed at least 10 flame emojis. It's that good. Most challenging fragrances for you. That would be overly dark musks that are heavy on medicinal oud, which I don't really have too much like that. Or the main thing for me, the most off-putting, is way too earthy vetiver. Kajal Perfumes Sarif. Initially, I was like, okay, I might be able to do this. Then I wore it to work one day, and I haven't wore it since, and that was like 1.5 years ago. I can't. Dark, earthy vetivers don't do it for me. I can't do dark vetivers. I just can't. It's got to be clean and soapy, or I can't do it. So the more like vetiver, sultan vetiver, however you say it, from Nichane, that's going to be the one that I won't want anything to do with. I know it's 3 types of vetiver. I've heard it's challenging and crazy dark and earthy from Corbin and Justin in a video they did together. And all they did was tell me I don't need to smell that fragrance. That's one I will never try. I'm not even going to give it a chance. I know I'm going to hate it. From Nichane. I'm never going to try that. Ralph's Club EDP, average, 5-6 hours, nothing special. You know, it's likable. It's easy to enjoy. It's not a special scent. They went very safe with it, but you can wear it for anything. It smells great. It's almost like a fizzy kind of lavender, a little herbaceous. It's lavendin is technically the note. I like it. I like it a lot. Clary Sage really comes out pretty heavy on it too. I think it's a good fragrance. I don't think it's a great fragrance. I think it's a really good one though. No, I hate 1981 Indigo, and that's why you said that. That literally makes me nauseous. Guess 1981 Indigo. I don't know if it's the coconut or what, but literally, I gave it 2 chances. My son liked it. I gave it to him. He's got the bottle, and this was 2 years ago. I tried. It literally made me a little queasy smelling it on my skin, and that's the only fragrance that's ever done that to me. So that's a no-go for me. Have a good one, Daver. What do you think of tobacco? Oh, you're talking about tobacco, the shaving stuff? Is that what you're talking about? The shaving products? The one I love but everyone hates. There's a few of those. Let me think. Y'all just full of good questions. Y'all came prepared. I like that. What do I love that everyone hates? Something that... Damn, I don't know. Let me look. Hell, I don't know. I think mainly would be Roja Parfums. I know there's some of you out there that like it, but the overall consensus... Oh, and Spice Bomb Night Vision EDT. I really like that one. That's a better example than Roja Parfum. I mean, not Roja Parfums, Dior Sauvage Parfum. That would be the two. Sauvage Parfum, yes, there's people that really love it like I do, but more people don't like it than like it. But Night Vision EDT, they have even less fans of that one than Sauvage Parfum. And I like it. It smells like spicy Invictus. You guys know I love Invictus and I love spicy. Night Vision EDT. It's got to be that one. Everyone hates Invictus. No, not everyone hates Invictus. More people hate it these days. People have fallen out of love with it for sure. It's not as beloved as it once was. But I guess technically that could go into it. If you hate it, and it's one I love, then there you go. So I don't know. Shaving companies with their own fragrances is hit or miss. You know, it's hit or miss. Sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they're just meh. So I don't know. I'd have to smell it to see. I haven't tried anything from Aaron Terrence Hughes. I was going to get Smolder. I wanted to get the 10 ml, but they sold out. I talked to Chris this morning. Max Aroma is supposed to be getting some. So I'm going to be getting Smolder. I want to support Chris. Chris is my guy. I'm friends with Chris, and I want to support what he's doing. I'm going to get the 10 ml, and if I really like the 10 ml, I'm going to buy the 50 ml. I think it's 50 ml is the other one. So since there's a 10 ml available, why not get the 10 ml first? Because if it's my cup of tea, I'll get both so I can have both bottles, have both presentations and everything. Because, like I said, Chris is a great guy, and I want to support Chris. You know. Let's see. Thoughts on Leighton Exclusive. Oh, that's special. That's another one of those special ones. I wore that for Christmas Day. I have a 30 ml decant that's got about 20 ml in it left. That is wonderful. Second shipment on the 15th. Yeah, that's what Chris told me. So I'll be, because if you go to Aaron Terrence Hughes' website, he's out of the 10 mls. Rhubarb is an interesting note to fall in love with. Iris. Immediately. First time I smelled an Iris dominant fragrance, I was hooked. I was hooked. It only took one Iris heavy fragrance to sell me on Iris. And it is my favorite note in perfumery. Hell, I made an Iris fragrance. I love Iris. Let's see. Name a worse frag than Youp Homme. Cuba Prestige Black. Hot garbage. My opinion. I'm sure there's somebody who likes it. I don't. Mancera Red Tobacco is my favorite in line. And that's a lot of people's favorite. It's a damn good fragrance. Invictus got so popular. It's the most boring fragrance I've ever come across. And hey, again, not everybody likes everything, and you don't like it. It's all good. It's all good. 50 ml of Smolder. Okay, cool. Well, I know you love Aaron Terrence Hughes fragrances, Ryan. Most of your scent of the day comments are ATH fragrances the last like month or so, or 2 months. I haven't tried anything from Atkinson's, actually. Lemon verbena note. Interesting. That's in Business Over Pleasure too. Creed Invictus, in my opinion, is, yeah, I'm sure you meant Creed Aventus. And yeah, it's pretty played out. I mean, there's 150, 200 ways to smell, if not more, to smell like Aventus at this point. Lamal or Authenticity Barbershop? Looking for an old school barbershop. I would go with Barbershop from Authenticity Perfumes personally. If performance is important to you, it's gonna outshine Lamal night and day. It's gonna be night and day difference in performance, and you don't have all that vanilla to deal with. So if you're not real into the sweet side of Lamal and you want the sweetness tone back, you'll get more spice than sweet out of Barbershop. Not familiar with iris. What's a good iris scent to get to know? For me, the most well-balanced out there that if you love this scent, you'll probably like all iris scents is the original Dior Homme. It's a little fresh. It's a little sweet. It's a little bit of leather. And the waxy iris, it's that makeup lipstick kind of smell. The waxy iris. If you like Dior Homme Original, you'll probably like just about every iris dominant fragrance you put your nose on. That's my recommendation. It's not the easiest to get these days, but that's where I think is the best place to start because it's so well balanced. Most worn gem frag, First Instinct Blue. No doubt. Let's see. Stetson. I guess technically it would be because it's got that aftershave smell. Stetson, now we're talking. I have that collector set. The three different bottles from Stetson, fresh, suede, and the original. And they're splash bottles, but they're eau de toilettes. So you got to dab them, you know. But man, ever so often I throw Stetson on. It's an old school cowboy smell, you know. It's an old cowboy. Man, some things are just timeless. No, I don't judge people by what fragrance they're wearing. Now, I may get okay, if I smell something when somebody walks by and it's something I recognize immediately or something that makes me go, damn, that smelled good. I wonder what they're wearing. If it doesn't immediately strike me as what it could be, it'll make me go, okay, damn. You know, I'll be impressed, you know, especially if it doesn't smell run of the mill. Like if I don't smell Sauvage walking by, or Aqua de Jo, or something that everybody wears. You know what I mean? If it's something different, like say somebody walks by, or Eros, you know what I mean? It's something where you know it. It's easy when you smell it, you know it. If somebody would walk by with something niche on, you know, where it smells, you know, they smell like some really high quality or something that's, you know, really spicy when they walk by, that would grab my attention and be like, ooh, okay. This isn't your run-of-the-mill person spraying a cologne on. Hey, man, what you wearing? That's spark a conversation, you know? And the evil eyes from my wife, though. Hey, tell your wife I said hello, Ryan. Go do your thing. It's Saturday, man. I get it. I get it. Totally agree. Silver stem. Oh, yeah. Wow. I haven't smelled the silver stem. I smelled it one time, and I hunted it for a long time, but I gave up. I gave up on hunting it down because it's just hard to find. And when people know they have what they have, it's too expensive. B612 is one I'd like to get my hands on. That's probably my next target from Nichane. It's a little bit of a fougere, if I remember correctly. Yes, they do make a cooling aftershave. I actually used to have that. Stetson Sierra was one of my favorite aftershaves for a long time. Let's see. It says my connection's unstable. Do I look choppy? Am I cutting out, guys? Somebody let me know. Best fall fragrances. I just did a top 10 fall designer list, the ones I'm going to be reaching for the most, like 4 days ago. Make sure to check that out. I haven't done cheapies and niche yet, but I did designer. Gucci Envy. Good luck. You're going to have to get that on the resale market. Can somebody let me know? Am I choppy? Am I cutting out? Is it a rough connection? Because video quality is great. Okay, good. Thank you. Because at the top of my screen, it says your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. 75 ml of Profumo for $61 at Sephora. That's a damn good price. That's a great price. Nah, you good. All right. Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate that. Looks fine. No generating. Thank you, Sub-Zero. I appreciate everybody responding and let me know. I'm just, that popped up. It caught my eye when it changed. So I didn't want to, I want to see if I had to do something to get the connection better for you guys. So let's see. We still got 67 people in here, man. Y'all must be bored on a Saturday like me. You want to sit here and stare at my bald ass for a little while. Thank you, JT. Thank you, Sammy. Seemed fun. Thank you, Cameron. I appreciate that. So yeah, we've almost done an hour and a half. It's been an hour and 24 minutes. I think it's a good time to wrap it up, guys. I greatly appreciate all of you. Thank you for stopping in. What made me get into fragrances? I'll answer this last one. So I've spoken on this before. I've always viewed a fragrance as something special to complete a wardrobe. Even when I was a single digit age child, I looked at it as when we go to church, when we go to dinner and stuff, you always want to smell good because you're going to dress up, you know, dressing up is what we would always call it. And you want to smell good. So as far back as I can remember, I had Pierre Cardin splash bottle, the little bulb. And then the first fragrance I really wanted to have was in 5th grade, was Tommy when it first came out. And then I ended up getting Nautica, Polo Green, and so on. It just kind of evolved from there. But I've always kind of treated a fragrance as something that takes your appearance to the next level. You need to smell good as well. That's kind of how I've always looked at it. And just over the years, that evolved more and more. I would say ever since I was 13, I've always had at least 5 fragrances. Ever since I was 13. I would say by the time I was 18, I probably had around 15 bottles consistently, 12 to 15. And then once I got into my 20s, that's when it really started to expand to where I had 20 plus, 30 plus bottles pretty much on a regular basis. No, absolutely not. I don't charge anything on a credit card. I pay cash. I pay with a debit card. Now, I do the afterpays and stuff like that where I'll pay it every 2 weeks if I'm going to do a pretty large order that's hundreds of dollars. But no, I don't charge up credit card debt. Absolutely not. If I can't do it, I won't do it. That's just the way I am. So that's another good question. No, I know I've heard the horror stories. I know a few people that have been doing that, and I've tried to steer them away. It's people feel like they need to keep up with the Joneses when it comes to getting new fragrances in and stuff like that. Because people ask me all the time, "Hey, are you getting this? Hey, are you getting that? Why haven't you gotten this yet?" I don't need to be one of the first people to do a video on something. It can take me a year to do that video. I buy at my own pace. I buy what I want to buy. I only buy what interests me. You know, I only buy what interests me. I pass on stuff all the time. Nothing is worth going into debt for. It's just the way it is. You know, I have a firm belief in that. But to finish off on the original topic, prior to that question about credit card debt, once I got in my 30s, because my wife's been knowing for years how heavy I was into it. Most of my family and friends didn't know I was into it like this because I didn't really know how they would deem it, how they would look at it. It was kind of a thing I kept to myself. You know what I mean? Even when I was 30 years old, I had, I don't know, 50 or 60 bottles at that point. And then it just began to, every year it was rapidly growing. I had 200 bottles by the time I was 32. I'm 36 now. So my collection has continued to grow rapidly, and there will be a cutoff number at some point. At some point, I'll say that I got to get rid of some stuff before I buy anything else. And I'm approaching that. What is the number exactly? Don't have one, but there'll be a time when I look at it and say, Jesus Christ, this is just ridiculous. And I'm gonna trim some fat, you know. But for now, I'm enjoying everything. You plan on downside? Yeah, that's exactly what I was just talking about. I love the journey. The journey never gets old for me because I genuinely love fragrances. $10 fragrances to $1,000 fragrances. You know, I can appreciate a scent for what it is. I can judge a fragrance as an individual, even if it smells like 100 different other fragrances. You know what I mean? I can find the good in most, and I can appreciate what they were trying to do as long as it appeals to me in some way. That's just how I am. So I appreciate everybody for stopping in. I think this is a good stopping point. We're at about an hour and a half. Thank you all so much for spending an hour and a half of your day, or even if you only spent 1 minute in here, thank you as well for spending a little bit of time on your Saturday with me, talking about some fragrances, these 2 Roja Parfums fragrances. I always love these lively Q&As. Yeah, Sammy, avoid the credit cards, guys. Try not to charge up your credit cards. They're not worth it. Hey, I love fragrances just as much as the next enthusiast, just as much as all of you, more than some of you, because it's kind of a problem, honestly. But none of it is worth going into debt for. That'll be advice of the day. Melly Mel, you're late to the game. I'm signing off, man. But I appreciate you coming and say hello nonetheless, Mel. So we'll leave it here, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy Labor Day to all of you. And until next time, guys, you know, I'll have the weekly rotation ready for you guys in the morning. I will shoot that in a few hours. And Y'all have a great weekend. Till next time.